It's Laura here, and I'm so excited to be filming this gentle prana flow practice for you from the beaches of Varadero, Cuba. I'm so glad that you're here, and I would love it if we could start from a comfortable reclined position. You can lay back whenever you're ready, just getting settled into Shavasana. You might reach for some pillows and blankets and things, maybe a bolster, something to keep you warm depending on what temperature it is where you are, and maybe some props to support your head, the backs of your legs, under the knees. So going ahead and laying back as you're ready. And as you recline, you could take a few little shifts and wiggles to help you to get even more comfortable. Shifting through the low back, the upper back, and checking in with the head and the neck. Taking your time, as much time as you need to settle in and to find a comfortable position for you that allows you to really soften and sink back into your support. You might like to imagine that your support beneath you, the ground below, is like a soft bed of sand. And with the little wiggles and adjustments that you take, your support yields beneath your body, as if cradling in and around your back to hold you. Softly melding to the texture, the shape, the perfect geometry of your body. Until you find that sweet spot. And you can soften into stillness, as if you and this bed of sand that you're visualizing, you have melded together perfectly. Now both settle into stillness. Know that any time that you need to, you can shift and adjust. If it's helpful to bend the legs, or if it's helpful to roll over onto one side for your comfort. These are wonderful options. Just remember to take your pillows along with you if you roll toward one side. Allow your facial expression to relax. The thinking muscles around the eyes soften. The hinges of the jaw. And you might welcome a feeling of the neck loosening up. Feel the shoulders softening and settling away from the ears. You might imagine tension melting from the neck, from the back. All of the way down to the area of the sacrum and the hips. As you set down the body, sense a release of effort from the sacrum and the hips into the legs and feet, right to the very tips of your toes. From the tips of the toes, awareness travels to the tips of the fingers, and all of the way up to the crown of your head. You might imagine these 5 points as markers of the periphery of the body. As points that you could connect, just like a constellation in the stars. And within this divine shape, relaxation and ease unfolds. As you continue to relax here, begin to draw your attention to the rhythm of your breathing. Noticing here as you breathe in and out. starting to feel your breathing naturally lengthening and deepening. You might imagine that with each exhale, a wave of relaxation rolls down from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. While with every inhale, your awareness washes back up to the crown of your head. Exhaling from the crown of the head with the intention of relaxing. Inhale from the soles of the feet to the crown. Attention gently travels up the body. Noticing if as you breathe you could release back into your support even more. Maybe you imagine the way that a rock would rest heavily in the sand at the water's edge, and as the waves draw in, they wash around the rock. As the waves roll back out to sea, the rock softens, the sand surrenders, they both settle in together more deeply. As you breathe in, you might imagine a gentle wave rolling up and around and through your body, up to the crown. And as you breathe out, the water's traveling from crown all through and around you, down to the soles of the feet as you relax back more fully, as if the ground beneath you yields to the breath, yields to your intention of relaxation. Just a few more breaths here as you continue to relax. And begin to breathe now in through your nose. And then out of your mouth. With a gentle sigh, breathe in through your nose. Then out of your mouth. One more time. Beautiful. Now allow your attention to slowly expand to the space around you. You can keep your eyes closed, but you're just noticing the space around you. And when you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. And eventually, take a nice big stretch out through your body. A nice big stretch out. You could have a big yawn, a big sigh. Good. Let's bend through the knees. So from the back together, if you were rolling on one side or laying on one side, you can roll onto your back. And we'll start to rock the knees. Gently massaging your back and starting to awaken the hips. Good. After a few times, finding that windshield wiper movement, we'll start to draw the knees in toward the underarm area. So you can draw your legs in, bend the knees open toward the underarm area, and you can shift from side to side here. You might imagine like a little boat rocking in the waves. Bobbing along in the waves in a relaxed way. Circle your knees around. And again, we'll circle but change the direction now. Wonderful. Now let's bring the feet back to the ground. Feet touching this time as you draw one knee out toward the ground on one side. Knees draw back together and open the opposite knee. You might like to open your arms out wide here, like a capital letter T. You could imagine the knees gently drawing away from each other like a clamshell opening. Listen to your hips, never pressing or pulling beyond your comfortable range of motion. And you might like to continue flowing from side to side, or perhaps both knees draw out here, soles of the feet together, and the legs could be in like a diamond shape, resting in bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Making sure your low back feels happy here, and if you need to adjust bolsters and things, pillows, a nice way to have them here for additional support is to just tuck them under your knees or your outer thighs. But again, you can keep moving and flowing. Let's take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Slowly draw the knees toward each other. You might use your hands to help your thighs. You can touch the outer thighs. And take your time to roll over onto one side. You may pause here. Notice your breath. Noticing the unconditional support of the earth below. You continue to be held. Even as you rise up to a seat. So taking all the time you need to transition to a comfortable seat. And you could cross your legs. You might sit on top of a pillow or a folded blanket for comfort. It's whatever helps you to land comfortably and sit tall. As you found your seat, will close down through the eyes. Noticing once again the rhythm of your breath. Deepening your breath naturally. And begin to breathe in through your nose, out of your mouth like you're fogging a mirror in front of you. Again, breathing in through your nose, out of the mouth as if fogging a mirror. As you keep going, start to sense an activation through your throat. So you're engaging your throat muscles to make this ha sound. It might almost feel like the front of the throat is reaching toward the back, actively reaching toward the back of the throat. Once you have the hang of this breath rhythm or this technique, then you might try closing your mouth, and as if you're making the same ha sound, or like you're still trying to fog a mirror in front of you, you can exhale through your nose. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose when you're ready. So you can keep imagining a mirror here in front of your mouth, but you've closed the lips now, and as you breathe out of your nose, you still have this audible exhalation. Keep going. When you feel ready, once you feel very familiar with this technique of engaging your throat with the mouth closed, then you might also try finding the engagement on the inhalation as well. So at any time, you might work with this on only the exhale, maybe through the nose, or perhaps you open the mouth again if that's what's helping you to connect with Ujjayi pranayama. We're finding ocean sounding breath. Ujjayi pranayama. You might be finding it on the inhale and the exhale through the nostrils. Having the eyes closed, or you might imagine that you're gazing out over the sea, maybe even like you have seashells over your ears and you're hearing your breath, hearing the sound of the ocean in your breath. A few more rounds. This ocean sounding breathing is so soothing for the nervous system, really calming for the mind. You might imagine as you slow down your waves of breath, just like waves in the ocean, that the waves of thought also slow they calm along with the breath. This can help us to build our lung capacity or maintain our lung capacity. Let's take 3 more breaths in this way together. Good, 1 more. Beautiful. Gather your hands palm to palm at your heart center. Taking time to return to the natural rhythm of your breath and to notice how you feel now. Sense the effect. On your next breath in, start to reach your hands up toward the sky. So your hands palm to palm, reaching up toward the sky. Then exhale, arms sweep out and down. Gathering the hands together, we inhale, they reach up. Exhale, they draw out and down. 2 more times. Reverse sun breaths, or you might like to imagine them as moon breaths, like you're tracing the shape of a full moon around you. You might imagine the moon like the sister of the sun or the sister of the ocean. Good, once more. And this time as your arms sweep out and down, you can either tend to your fingertips behind you, behind your hips, hug the shoulders down and back, lift the heart, or you might even practice clasping your hands behind your back. So you could interlace your fingers, clasp your hands together, take the same hugging motion, the same external rotation of your shoulders to reach the heart upward. So in either variation, you can sense a gentle stretch across the chest. You might lift the chin slightly, be mindful of what is comfortable for your neck. And you can take a few deep breaths here. Really see if you can draw the breath down into your belly, towards your abdomen. And you might exhale through your mouth while you're here. One more deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, let your chin tuck down toward your chest. You can draw your chin down. You might keep this gesture behind the back, or you could relax your hands in your lap now. Slowly start to rock your head from side to side, as if you're tracing crescent moons on your chest with your chin here. Little half circles, or perhaps like a beautiful necklace made of seashells. You might take a few circles, drawing all the way around, some full circles. And go the other way. Let's all pause with the right ear drawing toward the right shoulder. Just letting gravity do the work. While you're here, it might feel nice to reach your left fingertips out and down. You could imagine that you're touching a soft bed of sand, and that you start to run your fingertips through the sand here. Maybe you draw like a figure 8 or an infinity sign, or a circle. You could imagine that you've scooped up a handful of sand and that you slowly let it fall. Just a couple more breaths. You might even turn your head a little while you're here. Stretching into the left side of the neck gently. Beautiful. Now you can relax your left hand. Take the left ear toward shoulder now. Head is heavy. Shoulders relaxed. Reaching out perhaps through your right side fingertips. You might imagine your fingertips are in a bed of sand and that you're painting in the sand, drawing different shapes, just whatever unfolds. You might even just feel and sense your way through the stretch, and then imagine what you have drawn. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Slowly lifting the crown of the head. Let's lift through the arms. Inhale. Exhale, right hand draws down toward your side. Left arm reaches up and over. A gentle lateral stretch. Breathe in through center. Exhale toward the left side. Let's move from side to side here. Exhaling to the side, inhaling to center. And know that as you go, you might like to come back to ocean sounding breathing. Ujjayi pranayama. So that's a wonderful breathing technique to come into prana flows, movements with breath, vinyasas. So it helps you to hear your breath rhythm and to match your movement to the rhythm of your breath even more smoothly. Opening through the sides of your body in a way that feels good for you on this day. Wonderful. One more time toward the left, and you can relax all the way back to center. You might roll your shoulders a little bit here. And now we'll transition to our hands and knees. Let's come into a table pose here on the hands and knees. You might like to adjust through some pillows and your props and things to make sure that you feel supported, that your imaginary bed of sand is very nice and squishy and yielding beneath the wrists, beneath the knees. And as you arrive here, start to lift the tail, lift the crown of the head, arching the back. Then alternate tucking the chin, tucking the tail, rounding the back. Inhale as you arch the back, draw your heart forward. Exhale as you round the back, navel tucks in. Keep moving with your breath. And you can start to also bring in, if you wish, a child's pose, balasana. So as you exhale and you round your back, you could start to rock your hips back towards your heels. Then inhale, imagine you're gliding your chin, your chest along the earth and press up into cow stretch. Exhaling, tucking chin and tail. You might like to open the knees to make more room to sit back. Inhale, lift the chin, glide the chin, the heart along the ground and press up to cow stretch. And again. Once more. Beautiful. Return to table pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Tuck your toes. We'll reach the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your head be heavy here. Your chest reaches towards your knees. Belly toward thighs. Again, if it's more comfortable, you could open your feet out to the side a little bit more. You might even step them back a bit. Noticing your breath. Good. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, knees draw down. Down to the ground. And let's here reach out through the right side leg. Right side leg stretches out. Rooting through the foot, the toes point forward. And you can slowly lift yourself from here up to a gate pose. Parigasana. So as you lift into gate pose, make sure that your left knee feels happy. If you need to make some more padding underneath the left knee, that's a good call here. So you can fold a blanket or bring a pillow there. The right palm faces up, left arm reaches up and over toward the right. While you're here, if you wish to loosen up through your shoulders a little bit more, you might circle through your arm. You can close down through the eyes. Good. And go the other way.
I'm from the United States of America. No, I'm from Cuba.
Good. Let's take a deep breath and come all the way back to center. And as you exhale, draw the left hand down to either a block or the ground. You might even just tent your fingertips here. And we'll find some gentle twisting movement here, more for the upper area of the spine. So from the thoracic spine to the cervical spine, you could reach your right arm back. Then exhale to draw the right hand down and behind the left. Inhale, reach the arm up and back. Exhale, sweeping the arm under the body here toward the ground. And you can turn your head as you go. Maybe finding ocean sounding breaths. One more time. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, lifting up. Let's come all the way to our kneeling position here. All the way up to kneeling. Exhale, hands draw down toward the ground. And we'll just send this right foot forward in front of us now. So the right foot comes to the outside edge of both hands here into a low lunge. Almost like a half squat here, a nice opening for the hips. And while you're here, you could rock forward and back a little bit. You might just pause. Remember, you can always use a block to give yourself more space, more height, so it could bring a bit of extra length to your arms if needed. You could circle around. Wonderful. Now, in your own time, return to either table or downward facing dog. Whatever is feeling best suited to your level of energy and to your practice this morning. You might wag your tail from side to side, keep loosening up through the hips and the low back. Beautiful. Now, if you're in downward dog, lower back to table, and we're going to draw the left leg out to the side. Left leg stretches out. If you have a block, you might move it to the right side of your mat now. Make sure that your right knee feels happy here. Left palm faces up. And we'll reach the right arm out and up toward the sky, over toward the left now. Pressing through the foot. While you're here in Parigasana gate pose, notice sensation. Sensation through the hips, through the side body. Noticing whatever it is that you notice. You might circle through your right arm to awaken the shoulder, lubricating shoulder joint. And changing the direction with your circles as you're ready. Good, let's drift all the way over toward the right. So you can either tent your fingertips here, make a fist with your hand, or use a block, whatever works best. You might look up toward your left hand, even draw the arm back. Exhale, sweep the left arm all the way down toward the ground. Gently twisting here, gently, gently twisting. Turning the neck. With a nice long spine, we find a soft, steady rotation, moving with breath. Perhaps ocean sounding breaths. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Breathing and reaching up, traveling all the way back to center using your core. Breathing out, we come down with the hands and draw left foot forward. Finding a lunge on the opposite side. Like a half squat here. So the foot is on the outside of your hands, toward the outside of your yoga mat. And then while you're here, you can hold, breathing into the stretch, breathing into sensation, or you may wish to circle. Or rock forward and back. Any other movements that unfold for you here naturally. We'll take about 3 more breaths. Tuning into what your body needs, your hips, your low back. Amazing. Now, one more time, we'll transition to either table or child's pose. Table or downward facing dog. And you might sway the hips from your downward dog or your table pose, or you could pause in stillness. Either way, we stay strong through the hands, softly bending through the knees. A micro bend in the elbows. Let's lower the knees down together if they are lifted and transition to seated now. As you make your way to a seat, draw the feet out toward the sides. So the legs are long. You can take time to shift and wiggle and adjust through the sits bones to feel very rooted through your sits bones. As we get ready for Upavista Konasana. It's like a wide-legged forward fold here. You can imagine you're creeping and crawling your heels forward. Support your knees if needed, even supporting your bum with a pillow or a folded blanket. Beautiful. Now as you're ready, we'll take a deep breath in. Sweep the arms up toward the sky. Exhale. The arms start to draw forward and down as if you're bringing your fingertips toward the ground. They might even touch, and you can lean forward here. Pause. Take a deep breath and feel the crown of the head reach away from the tailbone. Exhale, you might soften forward as if letting the heart hinge down toward the ground. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, maintain the length of the spine as the heart melts down a little more. The hips soften a little more. And we'll do this for several breaths. Notice the effect of relaxing forward just slowly, gently. Easing in, taking your time. You might bring your hands to your legs if that feels comforting for you, more comfortable. You could have the eyes closed down. One more deep breath here. Exhaling fully. Draw the navel in toward the spine. As you inhale to sit yourself back upward. Wonderful. Now from here, we'll go ahead and bend through both legs. Draw the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana from a seated position this time. After the wide-legged forward fold, you might notice that your inner thighs have received a bit of a stretch already, and that maybe that prepped you for more comfort even in this pose. So as you land in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, you might like to sit tall and just notice your breath. Notice sensation. Again, you might close the eyes. You could wiggle the legs, pulsing the knees, the thighs upward, downward. You might sway side to side, or even forward and backward rocking. Feeling your way into whatever flow or experience in this posture feels the most authentic to you. Tuning into your body wisdom, the wisdom you carry within. Perhaps you pause in another forward fold. This time you might wish to round the back if that feels good for your low back. So you could let your head dip down towards your feet. It doesn't need to touch, it doesn't need to come anywhere near the feet, but you could round your back if you'd like. Three deep breaths. Forward folds help to prep us for a period of stillness and winding down in our practice. So as you're ready to lift after that third deep breath for you, you can start to lay back, getting comfortable in Shavasana, reclining. Remembering you might like a pillow beneath your head, maybe a bolster under your knees, or to bend the knees, even to roll over onto one side. You might lay in a supported fetal pose. The bottom leg can be long, the upper leg perhaps supported by a pillow or bolster. Make sure your temperature will be comfortable. Take as many movements as you need. Movements big or small. Let's find a few ocean-sounding breaths together as we begin to settle in. Breathing in through the nose and out of the mouth like you're fogging a mirror or a window before you. In through the nose, out of the mouth. One more time like that. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Feeling yourself really softening and beginning to relax in stillness now, in quiet. You might once again imagine yourself laying at the beach in the sand. The sand yielding beneath your body. You might even like to imagine, if it feels soothing for you, that you're resting by the water's edge. And as you breathe naturally, that soft waves roll up, warm, soft waves roll up around you. On the inhale, from feet to crown. And on the exhale, that they roll down and around your body, and that you sink into your support as if into a bed of sand, even more deeply. The sand yielding around you. Holding and cradling you. Feeling unconditionally supported by the earth. Invited to surrender and do nothing at all. Basking in the afterglow of your practice, in the same way that you might bask in a warm sunshine at the beach, or in the ocean air. Like medicine for your entire being. Begin to slowly draw your attention back to your breathing. As you draw your attention back to your breath, you can begin to lengthen and deepen its rhythm. You might start to breathe in through the nose and out of the mouth. Softly breathing, softly moving and stretching. When you're ready, you may even find ocean sounding breaths as you stretch. Remembering it's a lovely breath to bring into movement practices. Take all the time you need after gentle stretching to come back to a seat. As you arrive in a comfortable seat, we'll draw the hands palm to palm together. Thank yourself for taking time to practice today. Taking time to connect with the wisdom within your being. To let it speak and move through you like a force of nature. Let's bow the head down toward the heart center. Peace to all. Light to all. Love to all. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. And thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. If you wish to enjoy other content that is infused with themes of nature, connection, and self-awareness, then please do like this video and subscribe to my channel. Lots of other very meditative, soothing practices to guide you on your yoga journey, which I'm just so honored to be a part of. So thank you for being here. Bye.